Welcome back to another video review. I am the techgooch, and today I'm doing a review for an action camera mount called GoKnuckles. And GoKnuckles is by GoWorx, and I was actually sent this and actually a couple products from these guys to try out with my action cameras and kind of give my feedback on what I think of the products. And so yeah, these are the GoKnuckles, and the GoKnuckles basically is a hand mount, obviously. Kind of looks like a set of brass knuckles almost, with an action camera or a GoPro mount on top of it. It does come with the GoKnuckles as well as an actually aluminum threaded mount for your GoPro camera. Once you pop it out of the nice little package there, obviously just standard little GoPro mount on here. It's a very simple product. It is made out of a, what's best to say, maybe a kind of a rubberized, you can see how I can bend it. It's kind of a rubberized plastic material. So at first, I tried it mounting several of the GoPro Hero camera on it, which now I don't actually have with me, but I do have the mount for it. I did the actual camera plus my Sony action camera with the adapter for the GoPro mounts, as well as my Readycam smartphone mount. And the one thing I did notice is that when I actually put my smartphone, which is a 6 Plus, which is obviously a fairly large phone, I did notice that while just mainly when not using it, it did bend back and forth a little bit because it is kind of rubbery. Which at first I actually emailed the company saying, "Hey, are you guys offering maybe it in metal or anything like that?" And I got that they really haven't had any problems with anything. The best thing, after thinking about that, this won't really break very easily because of that rubberized material. It doesn't fracture, it doesn't crack. And because of that rubberized material, it's not going to be really, really, really rigid, so you're not going to get every little bounce. It's going to have a little bit of flexibility to it. And so that's one of the things that I actually got back from the company, was that they tried actually making it out of metal, and it just didn't have the same feel or experience, which now that I've actually played around with it more, I do understand more. I will say that because of the rubber, it is fairly firm grip. It actually takes a little bit of pressing to get your mount back in there, and actually will hold on to it even without the actual threaded screw through it. But basically, you just thread, you attach your mount, which if you have the GoPro, great. If you have, what I have here is an adapter for any threaded quarter 20 thread camera, which includes the Sony action cameras. And then you have a nice firm hand mount for your action camera. Now, the great thing about this is that you're not going to be gripping on as tight because of the fact that your fingers are actually locked on, so you can't lose the camera so much. It tends to be a little more of a, I don't know if I'd say a better grip per se, but your hand doesn't wear out as often as it does on one of those standard pull grip ones, because you don't have to grip as tight to hold onto it. Make sure you got to hold onto it to turn it. You have a little more control side to side because obviously you just move your fingers. And so you have what feels like a nice firm grip. You don't feel like you're ever going to drop the camera because it's obviously attached to you. Even if you let go of it, it's still not going to drop. So that's the one thing I will say. And what I will do is, actually I'm just going to remove my Sony action camera. I'll kind of show you what I mean. And like I said, it's because of the weight. But if I pull this guy over here, and actually what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to switch it around a little bit. So I actually get oh no, I'm going into the wrong thread. There we go. So what I'm going to do is, you know what? That's not too bad. So let me pull out my 6 Plus, which I will take it out of its nice little case here, so I don't have to worry about that guy. Slide it into my Readycam mount. And now I have a big old 6 Plus mount. Now what you'll see is that wobbliness back and forth. Yes, the hand mount was not designed for this purpose. And that's the one thing I noticed. And before I actually emailed him, before I looked at any of the video footage I got out of it, is, you know what, that's kind of shaky when I'm actually, especially when you're running or whatever, you got a little shakiness out of it. Now of course the 6 Plus actually has optical image stabilization. When I actually look back to the footage, you really couldn't tell it was shaking back and forth at all. So I can't speak to say if you used a 6 or another cell phone that doesn't have optical image stabilization on it, whether or not you would actually get as good a footage with it. But I will say that I didn't worry about dropping it because I knew for a fact that my the mount was actually held on to the GoKnuckles very, very well, and obviously I wasn't going to be letting go of the GoKnuckles anytime soon. So that is the GoKnuckles, and you know, obviously I'm using a crude, rudimentary way of attaching other cameras other than the GoPro, which are the cameras that I currently am using, but GoPro as well. So if I actually pulled, you know, this is just the frame mount, so that it's a mount that I have with me for anytime I use the GoPro series, because you get a lot better audio recording when you use the frame mount. You know, that it's the same way. You can obviously see where the camera's going to be, so but you get a nice solid mount. And the nice thing is that you don't have to worry about cracking it or fracturing it or, you know, breaking it just by being in your case or whatever. The one thing I will say is that, and I haven't noticed it because it's made out of the rubberized material, it grabs onto the device really, really well. But if you crank it down too tight, even where the nut is, if I actually crank this down, I can actually get this to turn within the rubber housing here, because obviously it's rubber, so it'll allow the nut to turn if necessary. So I've had that a couple times, but I've never, even if I've just gotten it finger tight, because this is made out of that rubberized plastic, it doesn't allow it to fall down on you. So after my original, I guess you could call complaints, I've since reworked my review to say quite a fantastic little product. Especially at the price. So if you are interested in a different way to hold on to your action camera with your hand, obviously looking at those grip mounts, and somebody's texting me or whichever, the GoKnuckles are a fantastic little, tiny little, awesome little guy to add to your action camera kit. You can actually find more information at GoWorx.com. That's GoWorx.com. And pretty neat little product. I'm actually probably going to be using this more and more for hand shooting rather than some of my other ways that I have to currently do it. So yeah, check them out. GoWorx, thank you very much for sending this to me, and yeah, nice little product. GoKnuckles, guys. If you have any questions, comments, please post them below or send me a link directly, and you can just contact at techgooch.com. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Subscribe above. Let me know if you have any ideas for future reviews, or if you'd like to have your product reviewed on here as well. You can get a hold through YouTube with me, or directly at contact at techgooch.com. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.